Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Mindful Monday. If it's your first time joining us, feel free to type in the comments where you're coming from if you have any comments or questions. If you have a topic you'd like to hear covered in the future, you can also direct message those to me if you want to keep it kind of private. If it is your first time joining us and you type the word mindful, after the recording, of course, I will go back and put a link that you can follow, which will get you free access to a hypnotic recording on releasing limiting beliefs that I created, as well as our weekly PDF cheat sheets, which are simply kind of bullet points of what we cover each Monday, and they come out the following Sunday. All right, so today we're here to talk about quick and easy ways to feel or to stay feeling healthy and grounded during this holiday season. And I know this can be challenging sometimes, not just in general, but with all the stuff that goes on, it can be kind of crazy times. So as we move into and through this holiday season, it is important to have a positive routine that keeps you grounded and sane, both mentally and physically, as well as emotionally too, really. And so I created kind of a list of simple techniques or simple tools, techniques, whatever you want to call them, that you can kind of think about doing, if you will. So number one would be to practice some form of mindfulness meditation. It doesn't have to be sitting in silence for 30 minutes or whatever. It can just be taking a few, deep breaths. It can be mindfully eating. Like I said before, this can be very useful with mindful eating at holiday gatherings. It can also be useful for watching your emotions at those same kind of holiday gatherings, or just with regards to what's going on around you with holidays. Mindfulness can improve, according to statistics and research. It can improve your concentration, it can reduce stress, and it can even increase your overall happiness. So this is a great practice, particularly it's a great practice all year round, but it's a really great practice around the holiday season. Number two would be to stay physically active. Sometimes when we go to a few holiday parties and we eat or drink a little bit too much, we're like, oh, it's all or none. Okay, I fell off the wagon, I've been eating too much, so now I'm gonna eat all the sweets in the world. So, all or none thinking is not so great, first of all, but also staying physically active is going to be important too. Exercise also releases endorphins, which are those feel-good hormones. So if you tend to get a little anxious or feeling down, because it is, at least in the US, it's the darker days, we're almost at solstices here, and it gets to be a little colder, not so much in Florida, but most of the country, it gets to be a lot colder, I should say. So people tend to kind of have a little bit of down feeling, even though there might be festivities going on. So exercise can be one of your best friends here. Number three is going to be get adequate sleep. And I know this can be challenging. However, you do want to have a good sleep hygiene, if you will. So consider doing things like shutting down your electronics like about an hour beforehand. You don't want to have to be on your screens. Maybe you read a book, take a hot bath, give yourself a massage, do some gentle or restorative yoga. Maybe you do a gratitude journal or something else, or maybe you just, do something that feels good to you, kind of thing. Number four is to really limit or at least watch your alcohol and caffeine intake around the holidays. These kind of substances, they can exacerbate our anxiety, and they also kind of disrupt our sleep. So keep that in mind. It can feel good at the time, but it's going to cause more distress, anxiety, whatever you want to call it, afterwards. So if you want to have a little bit more of something one day, you might just not consider going that all or none route and doing it for a whole week. And number five is going to be to keep your goals realistic as far as whatever you have to do around the holidays, because there is more traffic, there's more things going on, there's more to do basically. So don't put too much on your to-do list, even though there are a lot of things to do. Try to space things out the best that you can so that you're not getting yourself all freaked out there. And celebrate the little kind of achievements along the way, even if it's like, yes, I got this done today. It's like, yes, I did get something done. Then you want to also, number six, take breaks and manage your stress. So whether this is at work, whether it's with regards to holidays or family or whatever, recognize when you do begin to feel a little bit overwhelmed. No, don't wait till you're all the way overwhelmed. And utilize stress-reducing techniques and strategies, such as taking those 3 deep breaths and staying relaxed now that we talked about before. You can do the EFT tapping. You can use mantras. You can use mudras if you're a yogi. You can even just excuse yourself and go for a walk, saying, I just need to, have a little breather here. You can do artwork, you can journal, really whatever it means for you, kind of thing. You also want to kind of take time for yourself too. So I think we're going to talk about that in another one. So we're going to move on to the next one. So number 7 is to maintain a balanced diet. I know this is like a big one, right? But I'm going to say as much as possible, knowing that like when we sit down for a holiday gathering, of course you're going to overindulge a little bit, but there are some things you can do. You don't have to have like the big, all the stuff on the plate and gobble it down and then like go for the second. So you can utilize smaller portions at first, and you can kind of, eat some vegetables first. Don't like go for the whole fattening platter first. You can take some deep breaths in between. You can really mindfully eat. You can savor your meal, kind of chewing a lot, savoring the taste. You can sip water in between each bite, really chew the food completely so it kind of slows down. Because after a certain amount of time, you're not really even tasting your food anymore. You're kind of just remembering the taste. It's crazy, I know. But if you just really savor it, then it gets to be more enjoyable. And then you can kind of notice when you are beginning to become, comfortably full. Because nobody really likes to have that, like, I just need to lay down after eating. And then you can always go back for seconds. So that kind of thing. And then you want to really kind of, especially this time of year, but really all the time, limit your exposure to negative news or other types of violent content on, TV, social media, setting your boundaries about how much you're going to watch, if it is okay for you personally to watch any, or, how much it is. And particularly right before you go to bed, your subconscious mind never sleeps. So make sure you're putting positive things into your subconscious mind, right before you go to sleep. It's a great time to manifest. So putting in positive things, journaling, if you have to watch something, make it something feel good, if you will. Number 9, I really want to stress this, is to not be embarrassed if you find yourself feeling really, really down, to seek professional help at this time. There's no sense in making a permanent decision on a temporary feeling. This too shall pass and all that. So in the US, you can always text 988 if you're feeling kind of desperate, or you can reach out to your, local crisis center too. So please, this time of year is very tragic for some people. So if you are feeling alone or desperate or depressed, or, you just can't handle things, please reach out. Folks would really rather help you than to not have you in their lives. Trust me. For the next one, number 10, I'm going to say to really kind of watch your screen time in general. So if you are finding that you're watching something, even the relaxing kind of stuff, sometimes I know when it's cold out, like when I used to live up north, we would bundle up on the couch, the whole family would be watching all these movies, and you kind of become a zombie staring at the TV for like 3, 4, 6 hours because there's nothing else to do but eat. And so fortunately we're doing something besides eating, I guess. So there's this thing called the 20-20-20 rule, where for every 20 minutes of screen time, you're just going to pause for 20 seconds. Doesn't have to be like, a big deal, and look 20 feet away from you. That's going to really help adjust your eyes. It does things for your brain too. So, when we stare at a TV, we tend to, believe it or not, even if it's this kind of relaxing kind of stuff, we tend to get a certain level of anxiety. So that really helps. Number 11 is to engage yourself in creative activities. And so if you're into the holidays, you can, make cards or presents or decorations or whatever. And if you're not, you can just do whatever you like to do, whether it be doodle or journal or paint or any kind of thing like that. Spend some time doing creative things. And number 12 is, of course, practice gratitude. It actually changes your brain, and there is so much for all of us to be grateful for. So thank you for being here. I hope you have a great Mindful Monday, and take care.